Hi guys, how is everyone doing? A lot of you guys have been reaching out to me on Instagram asking me like, what's the update with your journey, your African journey, and having so many questions. And I apologize if I haven't been able to answer them individually because I've kind of been running into some Wi-Fi issues here and there. But I wanted to make this video to give you guys a 2-month update. Also, if you guys aren't already following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Jules on the Run. Show some love. And also, if it's your first time on my channel, make sure you subscribe and press the bell. I started this journey 2 months ago. I've been letting you guys in a lot on my life. Previously in New York, I've been through a really bad breakup and a really rough patch in my life when I decided that I no longer wanted to live in that type of society and I wanted to get myself out for myself and for my daughter. I won't go into too much detail about that situation. But I will say that sometimes in life you have to make decisions that are good for yourself no matter what other people may think. And 2 months, like if I thought a year ago that I would feel this amazing by making this decision, I would have made it a long time ago. So with that being said, let me get right into the update. I'm good. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm living. My baby she's amazing, she's great as well. And coming to Tanzania was the best decision that I've ever made in my life besides, having my baby girl. Truly, because I feel like a sense of freedom, a sense of like not being trapped in the Western world that I normally would feel, like the cycle of like working, doing this, paying bills, being in debt, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I got myself out of that situation. And just like the negative energy, like coming over here, I realized that energy is so important, and trust your energy and trust the people that you are around. And for me, when I was in New York, I was just such around a negative energy, and where it would constantly make me depressed and put me down, and I felt like I couldn't be my true authentic self, or I couldn't be a great friend, a great sister, a great daughter, a great mother, you know what I'm saying? Because the reflection on yourself affects other people. The same way other energy affects you, your energy affects other people as well. And I truly believe that true happiness is key to life. Life is short. People die every single day. And it is so important for you to remain happy. I think that's truly key. And if you're not happy, then it's gonna affect other people, especially if you have children. So whatever obstacles you may face, whatever is coming your way, just understand that it's an obstacle and do what you have to do. For me, I had a home, okay? You guys seen the footage, here's the footage right here. I had a whole home where, it was my home, and I was working for a long time and pretty comfortable. But even with everything, I felt I had nothing. And for me, the materialistic things was not more important than my self-happiness. And I had to change that. I really did. I had to change my mind, the way I thought. So you guys know, I packed up everything and I left. And I walk around now with about 3 suitcases. Don't have, guys, I ain't got the glam. But I'm so much more happier. And I feel that that's what I needed for me. So if you are looking at this video and you're feeling this way, my best advice is to do it. And if you are in the state of mind that I was in New York, I'm here for you. I understand. Now, let's talk about my new life. Enough of that. Let's talk about my new life in Tanzania. Okay, so everything is truly amazing here. Like when I arrived here, it was a journey. It was like about 30 hours. Thank God Saya was like really good on the plane. Otherwise I felt like it could have been more stressful. But it was already stressful, you know, traveling during COVID. Kinda and kinda not. Like a lot of people were not traveling, so it kind of made it very easy because we basically had the plane to ourselves, which was very convenient. And once we got here, I thought it was going to be like a huge process, but it really wasn't. Tanzanian people are very welcoming and loving, like, yeah, come, they want you to come and things like that. I stood in an Airbnb when I first got here because I felt it was easier and I didn't know how long I was going to stay. And I wind up staying in that Airbnb for about a month. And then I ran into some issues. If you have not watched that video, make sure you watch it, about my experience with that Airbnb. And on top of that, I was paying in Tanzania like more money for that Airbnb. Airbnbs are more expensive than regular apartments, of course, but it depends on the landlord on the commitment. Usually you have to do like a 3-month commitment, and you have to pay the money ahead. So for a lot of us, like, that's crazy. But depending on the landlord, like, everything here is negotiable. Like, you can talk. Like, I was able to find a landlord that allowed me to stay for a month or two, and he was completely cool with that. So not all of them require that. But you kind of have to play around with it. But if you can get like a local apartment, which is just as beautiful as the Airbnb, sometimes even more beautiful than the Airbnb, then you can definitely save a lot of money. Like, I saved $150 US going to a regular apartment than I did at my Airbnb, and my regular apartment was 10 times better. Like, bigger space, more comfortable, like beautiful. So, you know, that would be my recommendation. But like, if it's your first time coming out here, I would definitely recommend an Airbnb, only because like you need to kind of fill out the place, you need to see the different areas and stuff like that, and an Airbnb can be like much easier. And another thing is, sometimes these Airbnbs, like, they're not transparent, you know. They'll kind of like tell you like, oh, you know, Airbnb is like hotel. Like, you book it and it's everything included. Sometimes they will try to low-key like, oh, well, I'm gonna add this after you're already there. Make sure that doesn't happen to you and you stand your ground. Like, no. Especially, listen, don't let that happen. So anyways, what else is there? I have my little list of the things that I wanted to speak to you guys about. Some of the questions that people have been asking me. A lot of Tanzania is kind of like, there's a lot of tribes here, and also like religions. You have like Christians, but you also have like Muslims. I was actually very surprised of how many Muslims are in this country. Like, maybe I should have done a little more research, but I was actually very, very, very surprised. And people are pretty conservative here. Unlike my crazy American self, I'm like, ah! But they're not like that here. So when I'm here, I have to be a little more chill. With that being said, like, the churches, y'all, the churches are real, okay? Think about how the churches are in America. Them black churches that be dumb loud, that's how it is here. Like, every Sunday, sometimes on the weekday as well, super loud. Like, guys, I would wake up because of how loud the churches are. And sometimes it be far, but you still hear it like they're in your living room. So they do take religion here pretty serious. So of course, if you come here, make sure that you're respectable and you're open-minded for every different culture. What else? One of the issues that I've been finding here is sweets. Guys, I love sugar. I love cake, brownies, donuts, like nothing. Nothing. When I say nothing, like nothing. And it's been pretty disappointing because I have such a sweet tooth, but I guess it's like training me to not eat so much of that stuff. But it's really hard because there are times where I just like, I crave it so much and I want it and I can't find anything. There's no Dunkin' Donuts, there's no Krispy Kreme, there's not even something similar. Like, it's so disappointing. You have to go to like the really like Western restaurants in order to get something like that, and even so, it is not like it. Like the way it is like in the West, like it's not it. You can't even find like a good croissant. Like baking is just not it. If you want to come to Tanzania, make sure you're ready for amazing fresh food. That is what they like specialize on. Like fresh food, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, like everything is completely fresh. When you're trying to get like processed foods and stuff like that, things from the Western world, it's not like up to par here. But yeah, so that was like a big thing for me. But I no longer eat sweets as often as I would like. Like just like one Dunkin' Donuts strawberry glaze with sprinkles. I would love it. Seriously, I would love it. But no, you're not gonna find that here. So someone also asked me about like the clubs and the dating life here and things like that. So the clubs are like, honestly, like the clubs are popping. I mean, the way like if you're from the Western world, like New York and stuff, like in New York you have like the clubs and it's like a mixture of music, and then like when the Afrobeat comes on, you see how everybody gets turned up. That's how it is here. Like you hear like, it's Afrobeat, of course, because you're in Africa, and everybody's just turned up. And what I noticed about here is that like in New York, you kind of have like the snobby girls who just like stay on the side and just like, no, I'm just like, no, everybody here turns up. Like the males, the females, everybody is like partying, and it's just such a good vibe. Like an amazing vibe. Also, people ask me about dating. I don't know why people are asking me about dating. Like, why y'all being so nosy? Why are you really? No, the dating life scene is complicated here. Honestly, to me, it is. This is my opinion. I think it's complicated because you really like, you stand out. Regardless, it doesn't matter like how dark you are or how, like you're gonna stand out no matter what. Especially me, I stand out because, you know, I'm Indian and Puerto Rican, my hair texture is different, my skin complexion is different, I have tattoos, I dress different, my accent. So like when people hear that or see that, they automatically know you're from the Western world, and it's a lot of people's dreams to be with somebody from the Western world. So you don't know like if the person like wants to be with you because of you or because you're from the West, or maybe y'all see 90 Day Fiance, maybe they just want a green card, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of complicated, so you really have to get to know the person and kind of see, you know, where it goes. And low-key, a lot of people here be married, okay? They be low-key married, have their wives in the home, and then be going out checking for females. So y'all need to be careful with that. And they don't, some of them don't wear rings, or maybe they do wear rings but they take it off or whatever. So you really have to be careful to make sure that like he's not married and you don't, you know, you ain't trying to come over here and have those issues. But I always say, don't look for love, let love find you. Do you, do everything, run your business, do everything you gotta do, and love will find you. I am not in Tanzania to be dating or find love or anything like that. You know, if it comes my way, great, amazing. I'm very open-minded. I'm optimistic about everything in life, especially at this point in my life. But I'm definitely not in like the scene to be like, oh, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I get. Like, no, not happening. Also, you have to watch out for, there are called the fly catchers, which is basically these guys who wait around for foreigners so that way they can basically like have sex with them and leave, take whatever they can and then leave, and then they come back, not to the same woman, but they just keep, this is like their full-time job, this is like what they do. So you have to be very careful with them as well. Just be, listen, the rules over here for dating is very similar to the rules in the Western world for dating. You just have to be careful, get to know the person, don't just be going around having one-night stands, and you know, be safe. Anyways, next one. People ask me about the areas. So Tanzania is huge. Like, I didn't realize how big it is until I got here. Like, it literally is huge, and there's so much to discover, there's so much to do. It's kind of crazy. The three main areas that I'm gonna be covering is, of course, Arusha, Zanzibar, and Dar es Salaam. But there's so much to see, there's so much to do. You know, I encourage you, if you're coming to Tanzania, to explore different parts. See, you know, see what you love. See, the population is different, the culture is different, the vibes are different, every single part. So, you know, definitely like explore it and see what's your favorite and, you know, which one you like. I definitely encourage that. So my plan as of right now is to continue to explore Tanzania. Borders are starting to open, which makes me super excited because you guys know I'm buying a car and I am backpacking Africa. So that is the plan, and that is still the plan. And I just am really excited to continue to explore Tanzania for some more time, because as I said, like, Tanzania is so big. Like, I feel like I can't leave here without seeing different parts and really grasping. There's a lot of people who come to countries and they stay for like 5 days. I personally don't feel like you can really understand the culture and understand the people and understand like the lifestyle in like 5 days. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So I've been here for 2 months now, and I think I plan on being here for another month or two, and just, you know, exploring around. A lot of people have been reaching out to me asking me like, oh, I'm coming to Tanzania, like, do you think you can meet me and things like that. So I'm very open to meeting people, of course, but you know, it's whether or not I'm in the area at that time, because I am on the run. You gotta catch me when you catch me. But alright, that's my 2-month update. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me and subscribing to me. If you are not a Patreon, please go check out my Patreon. Patreon is where you can get content that you can't get anywhere else. If you want some more of me, become a Patreon. And make sure you follow me on Instagram and you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!